What's up, fight fans? Welcome to the Zapata Brand podcast. Well, my next guest is a regular before his fights, and his next fight is going to be a biggie. It's on the undercard of the anticipated clash on April 26th between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. My guest, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, gets his shot to move one step closer to a world title as he gets the fight he has always asked for, including on this podcast, former WBO champion Chris Billiam Smith. Brandon, thanks for joining us.
All right, always, man.
First, Brandon, how you feeling? I haven't talked to you in a while. How you been feeling?
I feel amazing now. I'm pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Good. Well, it's taken you a little bit to get to this point. I know that you were, there was times where you were kind of felt like you were going up and down, but you've been calling out CBS for a bit now. Actually, it was one of my first interviews that I had with you. And is there something that you're seeing in CBS that makes you feel this confident?
Yeah, he's a duck. he's a duck.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
You know what, man? No, honestly, and I respect the guy. He's always comes in shape. I talk trash, but he always comes in shape. He always comes war ready. That's for sure. Anybody fighting him, you're gonna be at a war.
And I'm saying that because you say he was a duck, but when you called him out before, he'd only had one loss, I believe. Why do you feel he didn't take the fight then?
Chris Billiam is afraid of me, and he knows it. And I'm gonna show the world on April 26th. But I call him a duck just because of the lack of skill. He's a warrior. I won't take that from him. I'll joke with him, but he's a warrior. But you show me a tough man, you show me a dead man. You understand? So strong men grow on trees. It's a lack of skill with him. He doesn't make a lot of adjustments. So his trainer's clever, but he's got that warrior's heart. You know what I mean? So
right.
He'll always be what he is. So,
and during his last fight. And I say that because of this, when you talk about him being a duck. During his last fight, CBS took a lot of shots from Zurdo. And I feel, and maybe, I don't know if you feel this way too. Do you feel that you were disrespected because now all of a sudden he wants to fight you after he looked so in his last fight?
He doesn't want to fight me. His fight he had an opportunity and he knows his back is against the wall. He don't want to fight me. He don't want to do this. This is bad for his health. His back is against the wall and he don't have an option. He don't want to fight me. Nobody wants to fight me. They only fight me when they're forced into this position.
With that being said, if you have this victory come April 26th, have you been given any guarantees of what your next step would be?
No. And you know what? And honestly, even when people give guarantees, this is boxing. Win the next fight. That's it. I'm not gonna get into all that. We've been there before. Promises have been made between promotions and fights and organization. Win the next fight. The most important thing is winning, preferably by knockout. So as of right now, nothing. But even if and when it comes, nothing is going to distract me from getting all over Chris on the 26th. I'm not even thinking about anything else. I'm not even thinking about the money from the fight. I haven't even got the bout contract yet. I'm not.
You haven't got the bout contract yet?
No, I'm not even thinking about any of that. All I'm thinking about is destroying that human being. That's it.
Now, you guys are roughly right around the same records. He had 43 amateur fights, though. How many did you have?
A couple over 50, like 54 or something like that.
Okay, so you're roughly right about the same. The only difference I saw looking at the tape was he's a taller fighter and built a little different. The significant thing that I saw on that was him being taller. Your reach is actually a little bit bigger. You have a couple inch reach on him. You think he's going to try to bully you?
You know what? That's what he did in the Zurdo fight. At least from what I could see, he thought he was going to be the puncher in that fight, and he couldn't do it. He could try it.
Would you rather him try that as opposed to box you?
He can do whatever he wants to do. You're watching film when you're watching guys fight. You look for tendencies, right? Because obviously they never fought you never fought them, so it's not going to look the same. I don't care if he comes in the ring with a baseball bat. It's not gonna matter.
Do
He
you
could bow. He could take the outside. He could take the inside. If I were him to play it safe, I'd probably try to box, but that's traditionally not what he does.
right?
But either way, if he tries to box me, I'm gonna catch him. If he tries
No,
to pressure me, I'm gonna beat him up. So it doesn't matter.
so it doesn't matter either way. Have you watched? Do you watch tape of fighters or no?
I watch once or twice. I look for tendencies, things that they continuously do over and over and over and over. Obviously, everybody on this level can punch. Everybody's got a little bit of hand speed. Everybody has that championship mindset. Um, and some fighters have that warrior mindset like himself. Chris has been in a lot of battles, a lot of wars because of his heart, because of him being so courageous, because of him being willing to push himself to the limit. But the human body can only deal with so much. And like I told you, I was gonna do to the Russian. I'm gonna take him to an uncomfortable place and keep him there, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep him there. And when he gets uncomfortable, I'm gonna keep him there, and you have to deal with it. And if he can deal with that, he should get the nod. But he won't make it. He won't make it.
Now I saw his last the fight with Zerto. He was caught in that first round, and he survived. He did survive. I'll
Mhm.
give him credit on that.
Yeah.
The difference is you're a different type of fighter than Zerto. I think Zerto kind of let him off the hook a little bit. I
Mm.
don't see that happening here. If you catch him early, are you just going to try to finish him and get him out of there?
I'm gonna lay on it over and over and over and over. The difference is other fighters get tired. You haven't seen me get tired. You ain't
No.
seen me get gassed out. You ain't seen me get hurt. You ain't seen me swell up. I'm gonna batter that man.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't understand why you haven't been in line for that title shot yet. I think you've done enough or proven enough to get that. I've spoken to a lot of boxers that are inside boxing right now, because when Elliot called me about the fight, I didn't know it was happening, and he told me, and I talked to a couple of people. You're going to see I have an interview coming up the next couple of days with some people that are deeply involved in boxing, and
Mm.
when I told him about this fight, and I want you to tell my audience why. I told him the fight was happening. I told him about the Conor Ben fight, that you're going to be on the undercard. They said they're looking forward to your fight and the styles that you have. Why is this fight going to be a must-see fight on that night?
Cause both people are Action Jackson. All right. You know, you got two. Well, I don't think he's a puncher, but from what the media says, you got two punchers, two aggressive individuals, two guys with a lot of heart. A lot of heart. It's bound to be a clash. The night will not last 36 minutes, that's for sure. But up until that point, people are gonna love it. I don't know if in-fight instruction will come into play because of the type of fight that it is. It'll be a fight that if let's say it did go 12 rounds, it'd be very, very hard to judge. We're going to London. I don't really
Yeah.
need to tell you how I don't seem to get decision wins, So yeah, I'm gonna finish that. So, but that's gonna be one of those grueling fights. You know what I mean? It's gonna be he's gonna push me. Because you've seen Chris hurt a million times, but he
Mm-hmm.
always comes back. The comeback kid, right? He's just like that. His wife and child will be in the audience, I'm sure. So he's got a lot to fight for. You know what I mean? Obviously, and he knows he's at that point. He's been world champion. This is a must win for both of us.
Yeah, he does have a weird style. When he gets hurt, he does start throwing punches, but they're from different angles.
He's
He
like
got
a
to get him.
Turo Gotti, man. Like
Yeah,
he does his best work when he gets up.
and I know, and that's what the one thing I said. Maybe Zerto was right in sitting back a little bit, and not finishing. You're a different animal there. Do you worry about throwing caution to the wind and getting caught inside there?
No,
Oh, jeez. Well,
no,
that was pretty straightforward.
no,
All right.
no. You've seen me get hit. I don't even blink. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Obviously, I don't. Nobody likes getting hit, so don't let them tell you that lie. Nobody likes getting hit. I hate getting hit, but I gotta get something for my money. If you hit me, I gotta get something for it. I don't think Zerto. I mean, I don't think. Excuse me, Billum can deal with what I'm dishing out, and it's not just power. You know what I mean? That's one thing. The media, they make me out to be just this power punching guy and whatever. That's nice, but there's a lot of skill involved. There's a lot of things that go on the inside. A lot of things that go on the outside that the boxing student can see, but the everyday fan can't see. So I just don't think Billum can deal with what I'm bringing. In addition to the power, just the same thing I said about Apochi. I don't know how these people are looking at this fight. Obviously, he's been world champion. Apochi was number one contender at the time. Guys who are in two different atmospheres. Billum is levels above Apochi, but it's like people aren't. This guy makes a lot of mistakes.
Hmm.
He makes a lot of mistakes. So I just look at tendencies. I don't know if he's gonna box. I don't know if he's gonna come brawl, push me, try to push me around. I don't know. This guy, he might come out southpaw. I don't know what he's gonna do. But I have answers. I don't think he has answers for what I'm gonna do to him.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I want to see if you could uh, give me your honest opinion on this. I think you're a marketable guy. You're a good-looking guy. You have a great physique. You're out there in the community. You're well spoken. Do you have an idea as to why you're not in that talk of getting those title fights? Like, it always seems to me that you always have an obstacle in front of you. Is there something that you feel that you want your fans to know? Hey, I'm trying to get this, but I just can't get it, because it seems like you're getting stonewalled somewhere.
You know what? Taking my feelings out of it. I think it's that's like a multifaceted question. Um, for one, I'm a cruiserweight. Um, and the UK is typically where the division um, is the best. So I'm an American. So to get in that market, you have to beat somebody of notoriety, and now I'm getting that shot. Number two, I'm bad for business when it comes to beating somebody's guy. Like for instance, when I beat Apochi, beat him, dropped him, made him look bad. I was off for 10 months afterwards because that's where the money was going. It's really going into that guy. You know what I mean? And I came in and just messed it up, and it's like hell. Now we got to do this all over again.
Mhm.
So there were already champions in my weight class. Just like these guys, they try to take the easiest fights for the most amount of money, right? So when you put that together, I'm an American. We've already got champions. This guy is gonna hurt somebody. We gotta redo. It's expensive. And that's at least that's the best way I could see it. Now, in my head, I'm like, all right, well, if I'm gonna destroy this guy, I'm an American, so what? You know, let me do my thing. Just put your money here, and I'll make you rich. But obviously, I'm missing something somewhere. So because that's what makes sense to me. I don't know why they. I don't. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, these fighters have an option as well. If you think about it, the only time I was in position for one of the champions to be forcing a fight of me was the Okoli opportunity, and I came up short against David Light. So and he told me straight up, I would never fight you if I wasn't forced. So you didn't win. It's not happening. Why would I do
Uh,
that?
what? Let me ask you, what happened to the Pochi rematch? It was supposed to be touted there on Pro Box. I saw you were in the ring, he was in the ring. You got into a shoving match, and it just died.
Who's gonna pay for it? On top of
Okay.
that, I think he smartened up. I beat you the first time. You know, you had a good performance against Chev Clark. but you still lost. Why would it's bad for your health? What's the point? That money they would have made from fighting me, it wouldn't have lasted them forever.
Mhm.
And I got a tendency of doing damage. If you look at everybody I fought, they always come out like they've been through a meat grinder. So putting my own ego aside, it's like, you know what? Would I put my fighter in there with me? You know what I mean? Yeah, he makes some mistakes. He does this, he does that, but is it worth the damage he could do? Mm, so at least that's my own. Or maybe I'm boring.
Well, that's
Maybe.
what I was going to suggest. Why don't you just show up to one of these champs fights and just call them out there? I mean, the the way I see it is this is an opportunity for you, and you're going to get a lot of eyes on you on April 26th. That's a huge fight over in London. That's a huge fight. You're going to get a massive amount of people seeing you. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
did you ever think of putting some theatrics on? Just being like going out there and saying, "This is who I want to fight." Listen, give me the shot.
I've thought about it, but at the same time, I don't want to branch too far away from who I am. And had it not been for His Excellency and Ben Shalom, my Nova, Team Eubank, I wouldn't even be in this position. So I'm grateful to just be here. But the last thing I want to do is go be something I'm not.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, properly pushed, But I say what I need to say. If anybody has a discrepancy with, just like Isaac Chamberlain, if you have a discrepancy, because I'm only gonna use facts. I'm not gonna make anything up.
Right.
It's like him. Fact is, you didn't want to fight me, and I proved it. Todd proved you were lying. So you know, I'll say what I need to say, and I'm actually going over there shortly. I'll be there tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so I
Have you
don't. I never want to branch too far away from who I am. I don't think. I just don't think that's the way to go.
have you ever sat down with His Excellency?
No, no, it'll be my pleasure though.
Are you going to see him there, or is he? I would imagine he's coming to the fight.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Do you think it'd be an opportunity for you to sit him down with you? Because a guy like a Nick Ball, who's an exciting fighter, kind of latched on to him. His Excellency puts him on everything, has given him a kind of a good push. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing? Even going over to Saudi Arabia to fight?
oh, absolutely. But one thing I kind of keep it real with myself. How many hundreds of thousands of fighters are reaching out to him right now? I've sent my messages. I've done that. When it's my time, when I get the opportunity to see him in person, I'm quite sure he'd love talking to me. I just wonder when you're the guy who puts people in position. I wonder how many people are just constantly knocking at your door, sending messages. He's probably annoyed by some of that. But when I see him in person, and if I get the chance to have a conversation with him, even if it's after my performance, then obviously I would take full advantage of that conversation.
I'm saying, why don't you show him? That's your best opportunity. And I
Yeah.
think on this fight, if you show him, I think
Oh,
he sticks.
absolutely. Oh no,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
thinking.
No, after he will know my name after this.
I think it's a
Yeah,
great
that's
opportunity for you. It's a great opportunity. I think Nova Sports has really opened up the door for you here.
hmm
Ben Shalom has. This is a good opportunity for someone like you to really showcase. And you're 32, right?
hmm
32. It's still young. It's still young now because you don't get hit much. You don't get
No,
hit much. You don't have that kind of face of
you
getting
hear
hit all the
that,
time. You know what I
Chris?
mean?
Chris, you hear that? You
I mean,
hear
you
that?
don't. And the difference is, Chris gets hit a lot. That's what
I'm gonna break your fucking jaw.
when I
I
saw
promise
his
you.
last fight, I said this might not be good for Chris because he gets hit often. His style's very awkward. He does fight, but he does get hit a lot.
Sure.
So,
And
I
he's
know
got
you're
that.
in the
He's got that left hook coming around the corner. Yeah, we know.
yeah.
Throw it. Throw it.
Look,
Throw it.
I know you're in the gym and you've been in the gym. You
I
don't
just
really
left the
take
gym.
time off, right? You don't
I
take
just
much
left
time
the
off.
gym. I'm still sweating.
And that's what I'm saying. So you're still there. It's not like, but when do you ramp it up for a fight like this? When do you really
uh,
get into the mud for this?
my hardest time of camp is typically the last 3 weeks. last 3 weeks sparring, and then you have the cut week. So I guess the last month.
The
Yeah,
last
we
month
really,
you'll put.
yeah, because
Oh,
I'm in shape all year round. I don't get out of shape. I don't stop. I just slow everything down. I don't even eat when I'm in camp. When I'm outside of camp, I just eat more of what I eat in camp. You know what
mhm,
I mean? I don't party. I don't really do. This is what I want to do. This is what
mhm.
I'm gonna do. This is what I'm doing. So
Well, it's been really good seeing you evolve from when I first met you to now. I mean, you were talking
right.
about getting this guy and you're doing, and I'm like, man, this guy's got a lot of charisma, and he could really put himself in a position. And I think going with Nova Sports was very key. I can remember
No,
the first
Nova
time.
Sports has been beautiful. Napper has been. He saw me. Elliot. Well, you know him as Elliot.
Elliot.
When
Mhm.
when he saw me, I was at a really really low point because it seemed like the world was just spinning,
Yeah.
and they believed in me. So I mean, if anything, I owe everybody this victory. I want to destroy that man.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Not good for Chris, but a good way for you to look at it. But
Mm.
as we wrap up here, how do you see this fight playing out? And I want you not to tell me the typical, hey, I'm just going to do it. Well, do you see that? Do you ever like do visualization when you're doing your fights?
Yeah, I see the fight.
Uh-huh.
See coming out. I'm gonna be the first one to walk because I'm coming to London. He's former world champion, and everybody's gonna boo me, and it's gonna be terrible, and everything's gonna be a really, really rough week, right? When I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking out, I'll probably get booed. I'll be in the atmosphere because in their head it's like, oh, this guy is not used to this. Nah, yeah, fuck that. I've been there a million times.
Mm-hmm.
So deal with that. I'm gonna climb into the ring. When Chris comes out, it's gonna be a roar. The stadium's gonna roar. It's gonna shake. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna be the energy. You're gonna have our ring introductions. He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out tough. He'll probably come out a little bit on his jab. Probably try to push me around a little bit. He's gonna try to put some combinations together. He won't throw everything full power, but he'll try to clip me early. He'll try to clip me with that left hook early. Um, but then he's gonna start getting countered. He's gonna start getting touched. You know, everywhere. Second round, he'll come out strong again. He'll try it again, more the same, because he don't adapt too much. Then he's gonna feel it a little bit more, a little more pressure. Then he's gonna really go for it in the middle rounds, third and fourth rounds. He's gonna really, really push it, but he's gonna get caught. He'll start bleeding. He'll start to realize that it's a mistake. He'll think about his family. He'll think about the end of his career. He might go for it one more time. He's gonna punch himself into getting knocked the hell out. I'm gonna hurt that man. I'm gonna batter him. If I were Chris, I'd be trying to find somewhere to lay down before real damage gets done. He won't. It's because he's gonna hit me. He's gonna hit me with his best shot, and it's only gonna piss me off. It's probably happened in the second round, honestly, because that's I'll be cool. Long ring introductions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, every time he taps my guard, the crowd is gonna go nuts. The just what I mean, just trying to get those judges on his
Right.
side, right? Every time he does anything, every time I make connection with him, they won't. It'll be probably just as silent as it was in Russia. But by the end of the fight, they're gonna see this guy can't touch me. And by the time they raise my hand, I'm gonna have the stadium in an uproar.
Now
I'm
here's
gonna have them going nuts.
a couple things I'm going to point at that before I get to my final point. Number one, and when you were in Russia, it was almost like Rocky Four. They almost
Yeah,
turned to liking you, right?
yeah.
The
They
way
wanted
because
to.
yeah,
They
they
didn't.
wanted to, but they didn't boo you. They didn't boo you when you left. They
No,
cheered you respectfully because of what
yeah,
you've done.
yeah,
But the other point I'm saying, what you just did right now is what boxing needs. They
yeah.
need to be invested in the fighter. And the statements that you just made now, what you were going to do, how you're going to that behind the scenes HBO Showtime stuff, that's what's missing in boxing. There's your key right there. What you just did laid out to put that in a program. That is what boxing needs. And I'm sure the fans will now, I'm sure people who are watching this now will say, you know what? That Brandon Glanton, I'm gonna watch this fight. I want to see what's going on. That is what's missing in boxing now. Hasn't been around here for a long time. A long time. But Brandon, what I want to do first, I want to thank you for joining us. You always come on when you're getting big fights, but I feel we should do one more one more appearance before the fight. What do you think?
Come on, man, you family. I do this every day for you.
And you know what? You're always a man of your word. You even did it on a Sunday one time with me. And I really appreciate it. But leading up to this fight, it's a huge fight, April 26th. Where can my audience follow you on social media?
Everybody, please go check me out at Team Bulletproof on all social networks. Team Bulletproof with 2 O's on X. Just don't blink. It's gonna be an action-packed show. Obviously, I make jokes about Chris, but if I didn't take him seriously, I wouldn't be preparing the way I'm preparing. I don't care if he was 0-50, I would still prepare for him like he was the baddest man on the planet. So watch me everywhere. Just don't blink. Don't miss it.
And in all seriousness, guys, when you follow him on social media, you will see he is putting in the work. He is not lying. As the kids say around here, it's no cap. Brandon puts in the work. My kids say it all the time. I just look at them. I'm like, what are you talking about here? Yeah. So, I mean, he is putting in the work. He is one of my favorite fighters. And I'm sure if you watch him, you're going to fall in love with him too. Ever since I met you, Brandon, from day one, I've always followed you. You've been a great guy, a great person. Elliot's been great to me. And so has Ben. And I really appreciate it. But, the fight takes place on April 26th from London, England. Brandon Glanton attempts to move one step closer to that title fight that he so desperately needs, because he takes on Chris Billiam Smith in what promises to be an action-packed fight, and that's coming from Brandon Glanton. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be a great fight. Brandon, as always, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Don't blink.
Don't blink.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.